two choices: football or being a criminal. Charlie does a back heel. We go 1-0 down. Take Dodge off. That's good, isn't it? Yeah, you stay on. Yeah, that's great. So I'm holding him. Next minute, police stewards and everyone's pulling us apart. I've literally got a bit of blood in my mouth. I can't drive. I can't read and write. I don't know where I am. And I've got to get to training every day. And he'd be going, Charlie, no, you're not coming in. I didn't shagger. I snogged together. I kicked and punched and bit. And he walks. Carlos Tevez. £650,000 a week. Chairman runs onto a pitch to be confrontational to the referee, and you look, and he's got a gun. I said, do you remember about 20 odd years ago, someone nicking your car? He went, boom. I've been looking for you for 20 years.
Ready for this? The second friendly game did not make it past 44 minutes as Brighton players nearly came to blows. 3 men were sent off and Charlie Oatway managed to spark a 40-man brawl involving both teams, coaching staff and even the Longford chairman. That is where the Battle of Longford originates.
At Charlie's doorstep.
Do you know how hard it is to spark a 40-man brawl?
I don't know, I reckon give it a good go. And then run.
It's a lot of anger in there.
This I'm going to say is one of the most unbelievable stories I think we've had on in terms of where he's come from to where he ended up football career, not knowing what to do afterwards, and then where he went to the top of the top in the coaching world and everything.
Stories within stories, isn't there?
Yeah.
I'll tell you where he played. Yeading, then Cardiff, Torquay, Brentford, Lincoln, Brighton, and Havant and Waterlooville.
It still blows my mind how mad they were at Brighton as well. So them stories that we heard from Bobby Zamora, but they're just off their heads. I see it as a nice family club. Always have done.
Absolute thugs they are.
And he's coaching as well.
Well,
with Gus Poyet.
Just about to tell you. Shanghai Shenhua.
Shanghai.
Somebody. Brighton and Hove Albion, Sunderland, AEK Athens, and Real Betis. Bless him, he couldn't write, read and write.
Yeah.
And he's ended up coaching at all these clubs.
Was that what Tevez?
Tevez.
Carlos.
Yeah.
Tevez went for £1 million a minute or something.
Should we get him in?
Well, yeah, let's get him. Before we do, a massive thanks to O'Neill Sportswear, not just sponsoring this episode, but the entire series, sorting us out with our kits. Looked after us, haven't they?
As always.
Should we get him in then?
Let's get him in.
This is nice.
It's got a bit of food down it.
I mean, we don't know, like I said, we don't do an introduction, but can I just welcome Anthony, Philip, David, Terry, Frank, Donald Stanley, Jerry Gordon, Stephen James Oatway to the show.
Tell a lot I'm back in cool.
To the stand.
I've got to start going all that.
Did they have to read it all out in court as well?
Fuck off. Couldn't just leave it. Not mention Charlie.
Yeah, there's no Charlie in there.
No. Didn't mention Charlie, just went through all of that.
The fucking barristers on an hour rate. Just fucking any up with the names, will you?
My brother went, bastards! Out of the back. He did. Bastards, mentioning all his names.
What was the crack with the name?
I was the youngest of 5, and literally, I don't know if you've ever walked down Loftus Road in QPR. When you come out of Loftus Road End, the first house on the left was where I was born. Well, that's where we lived. I was born in Hammersmith Hospital, but that's where we was brought up. So we used to climb over the fence and go and watch the games for fuck all. So we was all QPR fans. And someone said to my dad, I bet if it's a boy, I bet you don't name him after QPR. And the prick did. And I ended up with all them names. And
So it's a whole squad?
It's a whole squad of 73, 74 season.
Well, the old first team.
Yeah, and then my aunt went up the hospital, and when she came up the hospital and she saw me, she said, you can't call him Anthony, he don't look like an Anthony, he looks like a Charlie. So that stuck.
Must have caused some... Did you get some stick at school with it?
With all the names?
Yeah.
Yeah, the amount of fights I got in. Especially going towards the end of primary, going into secondary.
Yeah.
So, you know,
cruel,
this is one of the
can't
things that I tell kids. It could be anything what sets your, you know, your emotions off. And mine was literally what you just said. They'll just come out with random names and go, what, you're telling me that's not one of your names? And then straight away you're fighting because you know they're taking the piss.
Yeah.
So it was a natural reaction for me. Couldn't read and write. And I had the names, and I was bred into that sort of criminal activity sort of thing from a young age because of my dad. Not that he taught us anything, but it was always there. So my natural reaction was to fight.
Could you explain a bit more about that? Because we'll go way back to your childhood, your upbringing and stuff like that.
Yeah, my upbringing was youngest of 5. Mum tried to do 2 jobs. Daddy was in and out of prison, trying to provide. Bear in mind, this man went to prison when he was 12 for not going to school, for looking after his mum that was dying of cancer during the war. So it was a progression for him to go into that sort of field of being a criminal. And so we always saw it. But my brothers and sisters all managed to get jobs or educated, and I couldn't. I always struggled. So for me, it was always going to see him in prisons and things like that.
Look, and it's your dad. You're still looking up to him in that position
100%.
in prison.
100%. He used to say to me, literally before we left, my mum would walk out, or my brothers or whoever, he'd keep me back and say, listen, son, I'm fine. I'm having a break from your fucking mum. So it was like, man up, in other words, I'm fine.
And then did you struggle at school? Like you say, you couldn't read and
Bad.
write?
Yeah, bad. I mean, the thing for me, we're all football people. The good thing for me is no one really wanted to really associate with me in the classroom in the sense of if you had to pair up in work, because I couldn't do it. But as soon as we was outside, everyone wanted to be my best mate because I was the best player in the primary school, and things like that. So I really didn't, in them days, didn't get highlighted dyslexia and things like that, where they, you've got everything now, haven't you? Dyspraxia, all that sort of stuff. But with me, definitely dyslexic and, possibly a different type of other tag that they would give you, I would have definitely have had. But it was always a case of it was easier for me to be out of the classroom than in it. So I'd do anything to disrupt it, to get out.
Yeah. Is that like a protective mechanism type
Without
thing?
a doubt. And this is what the kids are doing now. So I can relate to them when I'm talking to them. So I'm transparent with how I cope with school and life. And it's mirroring what they're doing.
Going back to your dad for a minute, I mean, this won't have to go in, but I read something that you'd spoke about the Krays.
Yeah.
Can you tell that story?
So they reckon, especially years ago, that you weren't a Cockney unless you were born at the Bow Bells, East London. So my brother is the only one what is, because my dad, when he was in Ballstall, he met one of the Kray's cousins. He said, any time that you're in trouble, because they got on so well, you come over to East London, this place, and it was a snooker hall place, and you ask for any of these 3 Krays, and then mention my name, and they'll get me, and listen, we'll help you if you're ever in trouble. So him and my mum and my elder sister and my brother weren't born then. They run off to East London. The Krays put him above a tailor's shop, give him the pub that he can drink in. That when he walked in, everyone said, all right, Tone. He'd never met these fucking people. But everyone was friendly to him and all that sort of stuff. And he could just go about his business. He was on the run for about 2 years. But my brother was born there. So he's the only proper Cockney in the family. So
That's mad, that, isn't it?
Yeah. And then, they looked after him for 2 years.
So he looked after you?
Well, I'm the youngest. I wasn't born. So
Sorry.
he's the second eldest.
Right.
So, it was just him and my sister.
And Tracy
he
and
got
Kelly? Who's Tracy and Kelly?
Tracy's the oldest one. She's got a son who's doing life. He's been away since he was 18. He's 40 now. Yes, that's the oldest one. And then Kelly's in between, really. She's just above me. And, me and her was so close growing up because it was me and her, because the other 3 was near enough or over 10 years older than us. So it was really, we was quite close, even though we fought like cat and dog in the beginning. But afterwards, I could do no wrong. Whenever I got caught for anything, he didn't do it. Fucking got fingerprints all over it. They've got mug shots of him. No, you weren't him.
That is the ultimate.
Always got your back.
Not me.
Yeah.
So, and then there's me, and I've got another brother, Roy, who's definitely the outcast. And then the rest of the family, my dad's side, his brothers, and his nephews, or my uncles, they don't really speak to him because he ended up being a corporate bank manager.
He's the outcast.
He goes to funerals and weddings and all that. Go, oh, fuck him. The amount of times we try to get into him and he won't have it. Fucking wrong.
leave the keys. Leave the keys on the side.
And do you know what? My brother got asked questions because he was working at Nat West in East Acton when he first just passed. And he was only working on the till. And about after 6 months or a year, it got held up. And the police found out he was an Oatway. And I think they started...
Think it was an inside job.
It's a fucking inside job. I thought, you've got no chance. He won't cross the road until it goes green.
So were your focus at that young age, obviously with your turbulent upbringing, that football's got to be the main focus of what you're going to do with your life?
I had two choices.
You're good at it.
No ifs or buts. Two choices. Football or being a criminal.
Do you think a part of that is the drive and the want to do it as well, to get away from...
I'm just going to ask that. Do you think it made you more determined to, when you got the chance, grasp it with both hands?
Well, you think about what you guys, when you come from I don't come from, we come from a poor area. Dad was always in that prison, like I said. Brother's working, mum's doing 2 jobs. I've got to go to training for Wimbledon, for instance. That's the other side of London from where I'm from. I've got to catch 2 buses and all that. I had to have it written down for me. And then I had to go to the right road, so I had to copy the road's name, make sure it's the same letters on my piece of paper to get that. And you imagine going through them sort of dynamics of life and then having to navigate to get to training and that not push you. That's got to push you, hasn't it? Because I'd get to Wimbledon sometimes. I'd get there and sometimes there was kids pulling up in Mercs and things like that with their parents. And I'd get off snotty-nosed little kid with my bag. Like a lot of kids, no harder or better. But to navigate myself there was like I was in panic mode for an hour and a half, 2 hours of just trying to get there before training. So it definitely gave me that urge to not let it go easy.
And what age were you picked up by a club? Were you training at Wimbledon? For Wimbledon?
Yeah, I got schoolboy Wimbledon when I was about 13, I think it was. Then I got thrown out of school. And I think, and I know this to be a bit of a fact, because the guy what released me, he ended up being one of the heads of a college in Chichester. And I think he'd done some digging around about my behaviour. And they released me because they said, because this is the year they won the cup against Liverpool. And he said that we're releasing him to my brother. They said we're releasing him because he's too small. And in that team, they had Phelan, the fullback, Gibson, the centre forward, and little Dennis. I was bigger than them when I was born. They're taking a fucking piss. So I just think they've done some digging around, and I get it. I totally get it. But one of them things. But then I got released by them, and I just, to be honest, I've walked the streets now, and I did. And a mate of mine phoned me up. So my mate said, come and play for us under 16s at Yedding. It's Hazen Yedding now, but it's Yedding. And I thought, yeah, you know what, I need to do something. I can't be doing what I'm doing constantly. So it took me off the streets because Tuesday and Thursday nights training, Saturday playing. Played 2 games right back, then he stuck me in midfield where I played, scored again. And then I played the rest of the season and the season after that, and then started making myself concreted in the first team by like 18-ish. And then a mate of mine come up and he said to me, I'm going to get you a trial. And I thought, yeah, of course you will. And Richard Jacobs, his name was. I went up to Cardiff for 2 weeks, and after a week, Eddie May said to me, God rest his soul, I want to sign you after a week. So there's me telling you about navigating to train. He's going back, Richie. I've got to stay in fucking Barry Island on my Jack Jones. Now I've signed a contract for a year. I can't drive. I can't read and write. I don't know where I am. And I've got to get to training every day because I've just signed this contract. Don't get me wrong, the club didn't just leave me, but they stuck me in Barry Island. Now, I don't know if you ever watched Gareth and Stacey.
I've had a night out in Barry.
When?
2010.
Even longer than that. It was a Butlins there. It was just a Butlins. And it was like Beirut. Seriously, they stuck me in Beirut. And I ended up being there, and then my missus come up. We got back together with a little than I had. And then we moved into Cardiff, and that's how it started. But I owe a lot to a gentleman called Richie Jacobs.
How's he got you, if he's a fella who works in London, how's he got you to Cardiff?
Haven't got a clue. Never asked him that, and I don't know why. Because I don't know that answer to that.
Do you know when you were saying somebody's looking down on you from up above, and it came to my head, Cardiff, you got into bother at Cardiff. Is that when?
No.
Was that not when you went to prison?
People get confused about that because it was when I played for Cardiff that I got put in prison. But the incident happened before I signed pro.
Right.
So the incident happened. Me and a few friends went to East London for a night out. Stupid idea coming from West London. Anyway, we've gone there, night out, gone fishing like you do, get something to eat after you've been out. We're in the fish and chip shop. We're in there, two white fellas who are absolutely battering him, black guy, like verbally. I said, come on, like, fuck him, come on. We walk out. So as we're walking out, I've literally forgotten about that because I'm just eating my chips sort of thing. And I turn around, they're steaming into him. So I do what I normally do. I just steamed in, natural reaction. Whatever was happening, the police have come round the corner in the car. So me and him jump up and fled. We run. We both got nicked. Anyway, the court case has come through. We got to go course. He turned pro the same time as I did, but at a different club, within weeks. So my solicitor said, listen, if you don't go to court, they will come up and get you. They'll come to Cardiff and get you. So I thought, fuck that, I can't have that. So in the meantime, the club has swapped managers. They got rid of Eddie May and brought in Terry off. I don't know if any of you ever mixed with Terry. He's one hard bastard. So I went to Terry, and I was playing really well at that time at Cardiff. And I went to Terry and I said, this is the day before the game. I might even be lying. It might have even been the morning of the game. So I go to Terry and I say, look, I've got a problem. And I tell him the scenario. I told him what happened. He said, well, go down. What do you think you're going to get? I said, top whack community service. Top whack. I go down there. My mate don't turn up at court. My sisters are phoning him. My brothers are phoning him. He don't answer or nothing. So I go up to the judge. My solicitor gives the evidence. There's prosecution goes, where is the evidence? Where is the boy that was racially abused? Where's his statement? So the judge looked at me and just went, like, in other words, and I just sat down and thought, I'm fucked. And then they said, yeah, I'm giving you 6 months. And then I didn't get a phone call or nothing. I was in Pentonville prison. Can't write a letter. Can't read the letters of what are coming in. So I didn't get a phone call for 2 weeks. So I didn't even know if I've lost my job.
Who was the first person from Cardiff to get in touch with you?
So, great story. Fucking unbelievable. Again, someone looking down at you. So I managed to get a phone call. I got a job on reception. Best job you can get. That means you're out your cell all day. You can have a shower, bath when you want. You get mainly the best of food.
Was this because of your dad's influence?
No. This was because of what happened afterwards. So they put you in, they call them, and they still do it now, they put you in holding cells and holding wings until they navigate where they're going to put you. So they stuck me in him, and I'm in with a dreadlocks geezer, armed robber, built like a brick shit house. And you can imagine, my world just tipped upside down. I ain't ate for 2 weeks. You know what I mean? I'm thinking, what's going on? So, cut long story short, you have to go and have interviews. When you have your interview, they ask you what you're doing, what drugs you're on, how you're feeling, what you do as a job, if you have got a job, all these sort of questions. So the geezer asked, this screw asked me, and he said to me, so what about job? Have you got a job? I went, yeah, I'm a professional footballer. He went, yeah. He said, you know where you are? I went, yeah, I know where I am. He said, you're in Pentonville prison. He said, I get juggernauts come through there telling me they're the Prime Minister and telling me they're doctors. He said, now you're telling me you're a professional footballer. I said, whatever, mate. I don't know, a couple of hours later, doors are open. A gym orderly's there, which is still a screw. And he went to me, Charlie Oatway. I went, yeah. He said, come out in a minute. I went out to cell. He went, so you're a professional footballer, are you? I went, yeah. And I heard the twang of the, Welsh accent. Just a twang. I thought, is he Welsh? And he went, Cardiff, yeah? Who's the manager? I went, Terry Yarth. He went, funny that. I was Terry Yarth goalkeeper at Swansea. I went, oh, was you? He said, I'll be asking him. I said, good luck then. And he locked me back up. A couple of hours later, come back again. He went, come out. Charlie said, look, I owe you an apology. He said, I've just spoken to Terry. He said, all he's told me to do to you is run you every fucking day. And he got me out every day, put me on the running machine, hour, bang, I'll be gone for an hour, just be on the treadmill running. The only thing was different, I'm looking at a fucking wall. You know, so, but at least I burn off
Better than a mirror.
Fucking. Cheers, you for it.
Oh, fucking Brad Pitt sat here.
Sorry.
Fucking brave, isn't it? Got a couple of beers, isn't it? I'd like that.
Sorry.
And he got me every day and run the balls off me for an hour.
Is Pentonville a proper prison?
Oh, fuck me.
You know, like, not a proper prison, but you know, like, is it is it?
Yeah, it's a class as a disposal prison. So people go there and then they get disposed, like sent to everywhere else, really. But it is one of the worst prisons in London.
And did you have an hard time in there, or because of your family, wherever leave you be?
Well, it wasn't even a case of that. I just kept my mouth shut and head down, done my work. Everyone knew then that I was a footballer. Everyone knew. Tell you well, it's not a great story for the fella, but what happened is I was working on reception in them days. They used to get the boys what have been sentenced to work on reception. So if you've been sentenced and you behave, you can work on reception. And one of the jobs that one of them would have to do was sign people in. So when they get off the bus and they go, this is Charlie Oatway. Right, Charlie Oatway sentenced to 4 months ABH and assault. John whatever, so. Anyway, so I'm on reception. There's about 8 or 9 of us all doing different jobs. The geezer that was working on the reception, signing them in, he calls a couple of them over. And they're all whispering. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm watching them, and then they come over to me. And they like, you're talking hard men, like. And they went, right, you'll go over the other wing. I said, what for? And said, I can't remember what they asked me to pick up. But they'll take you, and I was that officer there, he'll take you over there and you can go and get it. It's fucking strange. So anyway, I go, get whatever I got, get back. And on the way back, the alarms go off. And the screw pushes me in the cell and locks the door. Everyone's getting banged away, wherever it is. What happened is, the geezer was taking all the register, has found out one of them was coming in as a nonce. They got rid of me to make sure I didn't get in trouble, so they can iron him out. Fucking unbelievable. But you're talking about people who've got nothing to lose, really, but they still looked after me. Mm-hmm. So I think sometimes that comes down to your character and the way that you are. Do you know what I mean? I think if I was a prick, giving it the big one,
yeah,
I'm a footballer and all that, I think they would have gone, you can wait here and you can get another 6 months on your sentence. Yeah. But they didn't.
To be fair, I mean, you're only probably, 40 games into your career, 50 games into your career?
Probably not even that.
Obviously, you've had your... Oh, no, sorry, I've only got Cardiff, yeah.
Not even that. And then you think you're dragged back into it and I'm fucked. And then Terry I get out and Terry's there. And like it was... And have you ever read anything about Terry?
Not really, no.
Well, have you... Like people like Souness and that, and who's your hardest players you played against? He was up there with Souness's ones that... He was one tough Welshman. Do you know what? I couldn't believe it. So, day before a training session, normally bit of fun stuff in it, and you have a little laugh and a joke and all that, and then a little game. We'd do a warm-up, we'd do the bits and pieces, and then it'd be England and Wales. Fucking war! And he was the worst. He would defend the goal, like, you know, these little five-a-side goals. He'd defend it, you come past it, whack, 2-footed. I thought, right, fuck this. And it was English against Wales. Well, it used to be funny, it all depended on who was injured. If the English had a couple of injuries, you get the Irish. And vice versa, if it was the Welsh, you get the Irish. But it used to be war.
Are you set back in the team?
No, I weren't. I weren't right. I weren't right for a little while, about 3 or 4 weeks. And they could tell that. So they sent me back to probation. I started talking to my probation officer and I was saying to him, just don't feel right and things like that. So it was over a little period of time. Then the club, I got back in the side, ifs and buts sort of attitude. But then the club got taken over by the Kumar brothers. And we was at a funeral. Fucking unbelievable. And I was trying to get back in the team and it was like, there was a door shut. I felt a door shut. And they said to me at this funeral, one of the staff members passed away and said, I think it's best you move on. Like that sort of attitude. So I said, okay, bear in mind, I didn't have an agent. I didn't know how I could move on. I was at work. Anyway, cut long story short, a club coming in for me in Northern Ireland to go on loan. And I went out there for 2-3 months, cool rain, which was an eye-opener again, like sort of things, but great learning curve for me. And I just got that, I just got that spirit back. Then I come back, and when I come back, Eddie May got the Torquay job, Division 2, struggling. And I went there in the Christmas time. And in the Christmas time, by the end of the season, I got Player of the Year. So I'd only been there half a season. But then I started... We should have got relegated, but Stevenage couldn't come up that year because the ground weren't ready. So we managed to stay up. I stayed another bit of the season. Then Eddie May got the Brentford job. And I went to Brentford then, and I think, fuck, I'm back home.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
No, it's a bad thing. So not luckily, but I couldn't afford to live in London. Because you can imagine with Division 1 players living in London, there was no chance. So Bob Taylor, I don't remember him, he went to Man City, centre forward. They said, well, look, we live by Luton. There's about 4 of us. If you jump in, we've got a carload. And we take it in turns every day, that sort of thing. So me and my missus managed to get an house in Bedford. And we used to commute every day.
Are you doing well on the pitch at Brentford then?
What was that? The first year went really well. Well as it could have gone for me personally. But it was a team that was at that time, it was struggling. The club was struggling financially and things like possibly, not knocking myself, probably that's why they spent that little bit of money on me and not someone from the league up instead of the league down. So I done okay there. But what I done well with that was when Micky Adams was there, and then Micky Adams got fucked off when Ron Nose took over, because Ron Nose then became the manager and chairman or whatever it was, job titles he would give himself. I left a good footprint with Micky. I left a good impression on Micky. When he come in, he pulled me, and Micky was still young then, in the sense of his career, in the sense of going into management. And he pulled me and he said, to the side, he said, am I going to have a problem with you? So by me being the way that I am, I said, what do you mean by that? What do you think you're going to have a fucking problem with me for? Why are you picking me and not one of these? He said, exactly what I just said. He said, you're the only player that Eddie May brought in. So are you going to be bitter and twisted about that or what? I said, I'm a professional footballer. I said, so I'm going to do my job to the best of my ability every day. So he went, okay, good. So I started playing for him, going okay. My performances. But we were struggling. We was fighting relegation and things like that. And then played at Northampton, and he dug absolutely everybody out. And he come up to me and he went, you're due for me. And then he went to him, you're fucking shit, not good enough, that and that and that. And I thought, thank fuck for that. Fuck you lot. Pull the ladder up, Jack. And then after that, and then we played Fulham away. I had a cartilage problem and it needed operating on. And then we was doing laps. I don't know if you ever done them, 60-second laps. Fucking killers.
I never got 60 seconds, by the way.
No, I don't think. I think he was helping me out. I don't think I used to get down there, but my little legs. But I was trying to do them, but I was limping. And he said, no, Charlie, you've got to have the op. I don't know what it is nowadays, but it was about 5 weeks then. And they were trying to rush me back to get fit. When they were trying to rush me back to get fit, because we had Fulham, and it was like a must-win game, and he wanted me to mark Pesky Solido, man to man. So in the meantime of this, they've arranged a friendly game for me to have before the Saturday. In that time, my daughter was born. My daughter was born really ill, so I'm literally going back to the Bedford Hospital, and then driving to the training ground for the game. Driving to the training ground, I got there 2 hours early, so I went and slept in the physio room. I think this all built into him having a relationship with me that I thought, I've got to leave my daughter and go and provide, sort of thing. Because my ex-missus said, no, you've got to go and do what you've got to do. You've got to play. You've got to fucking play. And she was touch and go. So anyway, I'll go and sleep. They wake me up. Kitman wakes me up, says, Charlie, got an hour and a half before the game. Get ready, play the game. Played against Fulham on the Saturday. And he says, right, we're going to play, but forget about Charlie. He's not on the pitch. He's going to go everywhere Pesky goes. So he's going to follow him everywhere. And I literally followed him everywhere. I kicked and punched and bit. I swear, if you ask the geezer, he'd probably go, I don't remember his name, but yeah, I remember that little prick. I bit him, I'd done everything. I swear, I was on the floor one stage where I tackled him, and as I'm on the floor, I bit him on the shoulder. I'm trying to get him to rise. I'm trying to get something out of him and keep him off what he was doing. Fucking 90th minute. The ball's gone down wide. I've got sucked into the near post. He's gone far post. Bang, scored. And I don't know if we lost 1-0 or it was 1-1. But up until that period, and you're talking about they paid 1.5 million for him in that division at that time or something like that. He was a fucking great player. And I think all of these bits brought into when Micky got the Brighton job.
What league were Brighton in at this point?
They were bottom, because the year before, I think they nearly went out of the Football League. So I think they were bottom, and he went in there and they stayed up. And then the following year, Dick Knight and the board managed to give him some money. That's how he started dealing with players from Brentford and
Did you sign
Fulham.
3 of you?
Excuse me, he signed me and Paul Watson in the same deal. He signed us for 30 grand. To this day, Watson's a liar. It was 25 me and 5 him. He said it was 25 him and 5 me. So he signed the two of us. He signed Paul Rogers from Wigan at that year. Darren Freeman.
Yeah.
And then the Northern lads I didn't really know. Crosby. He signed another boy. He signed a guy called Dave Cameron. And for 10 years afterwards, it was called the Dave Cameron Run. Dave Cameron, they brought out of the army for peanuts. A Scottish guy. And Micky ended up getting the fucking hump with him after a month. And every time that we trained, he would just have to run around this pitch constantly. And he used to just keep running in his little plod like that. And it was just fucking abuse, really. But that's what Micky was like. That kid had to just keep running. So he signed 5 or 6 of us at one year. And then the next year, he went back into the market and bought players like Richard Carpenter and other players in to strengthen the squad. Bobby Zamora. And that's when we really quite hit it off as a team down in the lower divisions.
Is that the same Cameron that left his got his car nicked?
Yeah, that's him.
What happened there?
He stopped off and had his cut. You're talking about not the brightest tool in the box, and who am I to talk about being bright? He ended up jumping out of his car with his car keys in and the car on. So not only are they in, it's on. The car's on. And I can't remember why he jumped out. I think he jumped out to go into the shop quickly. Someone jumped in his car and fucked off. And he tried to explain that to Micky why he was late for training. Off you go again, son. Fucking liar. And it ended up being true. Another day and a half running.
Poor bastard.
I think he's still running now. I think he just got into his jeans and he just runs. Poor bastard.
Did you settle straight in? Because
I was quite fortunate because I signed with Paul Watson. Who else? Darren Freeman I knew. Rod Thomas I knew, but he was from the previous. So I signed roughly with about 4 or 5 people. I didn't go into that changing room on my own.
I know he ended up managing out there, but what was Micky Adams' links with Ireland? Because he used to go pre-season and that, didn't
We used to go pre-season to Ireland, and he used to do it at Fulham. And I think he might have even done it at Gillingham, because one of these, we've got the PFA, what they called like representatives, where this guy used to work for a really big, like union, really big, one of the biggest ones. If you guys said it, I'd probably say that is it, but it's one of the biggest ones. And he was really high up, but he was from Coleraine. And that's why we used to go to Ireland, because it was like a hard pre-season. Nowadays, Premier League clubs go to high altitude, heat and all that. No, we used to go to Coleraine. Not Coleraine, Longford, Coleraine, that sort of area.
Is that where the Battle of Longford stems from?
I can imagine you were right involved.
I tried to keep myself out of it, but people just kept pushing me in.
What happened?
We used to go there and play all that you can imagine. We're English. You're playing all the sides from mainly. Well, it doesn't matter what part of Ireland, but they want to test themselves. It's not about just kicking. They want to test themselves. And Micky couldn't let you just prepare for a fucking game without running you pre-season. So you had to run first and then go and play a game and produce. Like you're asking for the impossible, aren't you? It's literally impossible.
So that's a fuming as well there, aren't they, if they've ran the bollocks and then they've got a game.
So, and then he'd do a bit of running and then do football. And I'd stand there and they go, your team are losing, like in the training session. I go, hold on, you want me to play at 6 o'clock tonight, didn't you? So I'm saving what energy I've got left now. And I'll just stand there. And my team would be getting beat, going, Charlie, fucking run about. No. Because I thought, I'm not going to go and mug myself off out there now. I want to rest. So I really struggled with the football bit. But then we'd play these games and it was always tough out there every year. You've got one pub. You've got one hotel. Well, only beds 8. And if you weren't of the senior lot, you didn't get in that hotel. You had to stay with families. So you had people like Paul Rogers, Crosby and all that in the hotel, drinking out of the little cups and all that. And I should be knocking on the door going, let me in. No, and Paul Rogers, really educated guy. Bank in the banking world and, sort of thing. And he'd be going, Charlie, no, you're not coming in. And I go, Dodge, I'm going to pound your face in when you come out, mate, you posh prick. And they go, oh, getting angry again, are we? And then I'd hear Crosby laughing in his northern fucking voice, going, I have that, Charlie. And I go, you're going to get it in all squash nose. and then I'll go back out and I'll try another door of a couple of senior players. No, we're not letting you in, Charlie. You're just going to destroy our room. The fucking hell. And I used to have to go back to my little shitty house. And we used to have to sleep in these little single beds, and then we'd have to go and play in games. So the Battle of Longford, we go and play in this game, and we turn up at this ground, and it's like, when they whack a plate, when they're going to whack the stones, these stones look massive, so they haven't been whacked. It looked like they were going to put tarmac or whatever over it. So that's all outside by the changing room. And they'd go out and on the pitch. Anyway, playing this game, all fucked. Dirk Lehman and Richard Carpenter, they have a fight on the pitch with each other, near enough. So he calls them off. They're on the bench, either side. This geezer's going around lumping everyone. This Paddy's going around lumping everyone. I didn't have the strength or anything in me to fight back. It was like I was fucked. Absolutely fucked for pre-season. Anyway, he brings on Steve Melton, who is not that way. He's more of a technical player, good footballer. He fucking, I don't know, he sees a red mist as well from the fucking running we were doing, but he's ended up wiping this fella out. Like, I'm on about waist wipe. I went, fucking well done, son. He literally really took him out. So as he's whacked him, the geezer's got up and grabbed him. But Steve Melton, young boy from Nottingham Forest, I've all of a sudden gained some energy. So whack, we've all steamed in, vice versa, their side and our side. They had security there, they had police already there because there was loads of fans. A team from England coming to play. So they're all running on, punches are being thrown. This big Paddy from nowhere grabs me round the neck and gets me in like a bear hug, like that, under there. Like he's holding me in my headlock like that. And I'm thinking, I'm fucking losing. I'm going dizzy here. So I turn around and I bite him and I bit him, I've got him there. And I thought, I ain't letting go until fucking old Bill turn up because he's going to kill me. He was huge. And he's screaming. Ah! And I thought, yeah, I've got him proper then. So I ain't got the strength to run off because he's going to fucking kill me. And so I'm holding him. Next minute, police, stewards and everyone's pulling us apart. I've literally got a bit of blood in my mouth, right? And then pulled us apart. Everything's got, not stopped, but getting sorted out. Referee comes over to me and goes, red card. So I walk off thinking, thank fuck for that. I'll have that all day long. Not knowing the consequences, I was going to get 4-match ban before the beginning of the season. So I'm walking off, and I'm walking on these cobbles. He's like that. As I'm walking off to the change room like that. Then I hear loads of them. So I think, fuck. So I pick up 2 of these rocks like that. I thought the first person that comes around there is going to get it, because I'm going to get ironed out. Well, it's everyone, both teams. And we're at it again, fighting. And we're all fighting like that. And then the police and that have come back round, stopped it and separated. Their team have gone in. We get isolated outside. We're there with the security and police. And then they go in. As we all go in back into our changing room, everyone's thinking, fuck it, how are we going to get out of here? We're in Ireland. So, my good God, so we're in the changing room. Next minute, and the door's open still. Bob Booker's the last one walking in. Don't know if you've ever met Bob, but one of the funniest men ever. He's walking in, 6'3", knocks on their door, opens up the door and goes, "Thanks for your hospitality, lads." Shuts the door. And he wears all his boots and that. "You dirty English bastard." Cheers. And Mickey went, "What are you doing, you prick?" Just literally got it calmed down.
Thanks for your hospitality, lads.
And it was them words and it just made me piss. "Thanks for your hospitality, lads." Shuts the door. Knew he was going to get bombarded with boots. And then Mickey just said to us, "Listen, put all your gear in your bags, but hold your boots." In other words, we ain't guaranteed our safety here. We didn't know what was going on. So you had Paul Rogers, people like that going on like, "Oh, this is not looking very good, Charlie, is it?" Well, just stand behind me, you 6'4" fucking idiot. But, like literally going towards the edge site sort of thing. Fuck that. It's not for me. So we get getting on the coach. And we're on the coach, gospel truth. Can ask any ex-player. On the coach, Mickey says, "Look, keep away from the window side until we get out of this place." So we keep away from the window side. Next minute, someone at the back goes, "Gaffer." Yeah, it's about after 20 minutes. "These 3 cars have been following us for the last 20 minutes. So, usually people shitting themselves, including me, by the way. You don't know who the fuck these lot are. Cut long story short, we go on for about another half an hour, so the cars go missing. Mickey goes, "Right, boys, stick together, all in the pub," the one pub. So we all go in there, we're having a drink and that. I go and get a drink, come back down. If you're the nearest one to me and you're the nearest one to me here, start edging away. Can't remember who the players were, just started edging away. I went, "What are you pricks doing?" Fuck, sitting next to you if someone comes through that door and starts shooting. And all of them fucked away from me, thinking that someone was going to come and iron us out because we didn't know who was following us. You're in fucking a terrible place if something like, if they choose to go down that route. And what was being said, like outside the changing room.
So they thought that if anybody was going to turn up, your target number one.
I'm going to get shot.
Get out of the way.
Fucking hell. After silly bollocks Mickey telling everyone to go and kick the geezer, I'm going to looks like I'm going to get ironed out.
To be fair, I think that's probably one of the nights out I might have missed. You know what I mean?
Just take us home drive.
Yeah, I'm not bothered about we're in that pub tonight.
I'll go back to the house.
Did you ever have any nights out over there and corrupt any young'uns?
Well, do you know what the worst thing is? It was the same night. So the same night, we crack on. Like, Mickey, we dropped, like, borderline chose straws to who was going to go and ask the gaffer, "Can we have another hour?" Someone got a short straw. Go and ask him. "All right, you can have an hour." So fucking whack him back down again. 55 minutes, right, straw's out again. He can't go because he's been last time. So we do it again. And have another hour. In the end, there's about 4 of us left, and it was me, the young boy from Nottingham Forest, Steve Melton, Kerry Mayo, and Adam Virgo. They might have a different aspect or an opinion about this, but I'm going to tell you the fucking truth, what happened. So we go to there, and it's called Rockefellers. I still remember it. And we go there, and we're in this nightclub, like sort of thing, fucking hell, no one knows who we are, we're out of the way, we can carry on having a drink and all that. Bearing in mind, we don't know what's going to come out in the papers the next morning, in their local press.
About the
fight and sending offs and all that sort of stuff. So we go and we go to Rockefellers. We have a good night, all cut, that sort of thing. Get in this cab. Have you ever seen Shrek?
I were in it.
With a donkey in the back. With a donkey in the back when he goes to the front and he tries to wind them up like that. Puts his head through the front. Are we there yet? So if I've got the seating right, I think I was in the front. Definitely Kerry Mayo in the middle. So we're all half cut. Kerry Mayo. Have you done Kerry yet?
No.
Yeah, done. All right. Kerry's a complex character, shall we say. Think of my education. And what Kerry done, what we was all doing was winding him up, the taxi driver. Get us fucking hurry up, mate. How much going to cost? 20 whatever. Euros, I think it was the euro then. And we're only paying 15. So he started pulling up and all that. We're only winding you up and all that. Just pissing him off, really, being absolute pricks. Anyway, Kerry then took on boom, like, and this is how Kerry used to look. Like. And Kerry goes, leans forward, looks at me, Looked at the driver and he goes, I'm going to shag you. To the driver. So I do that, I laugh. And go, Kerry, shut up. And he sits back and goes, all right, Charlie, all right. A couple of minutes later. I'm going to definitely shag you. He's done this for 15 minutes. 15 minutes he's tortured this poor taxi driver about what he's not going to do. And you can imagine, I'm being really nice about what he was saying he was going to do to him. So we get out of the taxi, never thought nothing of it, thought, got away with this. Keep your fucking heads down tomorrow. Do whatever running we've got to do, we're away with it. By the morning, I get a knock on the door at the house. It's Dodge. He went, Charlie, Gaffer wants to talk to you. He said, bring the other 3 pricks with you. So I thought, I've got to try keeping Bergs out of it because he's young. So I go and get Kerry and Steve Melton, and there's Bob Booker and Micky Adams around this side of the pitch. So these two are near enough crying, like, you know what I mean? They're a kid, like babies. Kerry weren't, but you could mentally say he was. But so we go round there, and Mickey's taught. He said, fuck off now, and go and get me the 4th one. He was literally no word of a lie. If he says anything different, he's lying. He was hiding in the bush, around the corner. And I mean, he was no SAS. I mean, he spotted him from fucking 400 yards. So he's going like that, and he's thinking, oh, God, I'm getting away with this. And then I'll go, Bergs, want you and all. So he comes over, and he's literally near enough in tears. And we go round the corner, and then Mickey's ripped us a new one. And he's gone to Kerry Mayo, because obviously all the Irish birds, young girls and things like that. And you, and Kerry's down there like that. You, going round shagging everyone, thinking you're fucking hitting Ireland, do you? Thinking you're fucking hitting Ireland? He went, I didn't shag her, I snogged her. So I've gone, Bob Booker's got up and we're standing up, Bob's turned round, and I'm going, trying to hold it in. And apparently when we walked away, years after, apparently they both literally laid on the floor crying. For ages, they said it. They couldn't believe it. The way that it come out and the way he said it, and his eyebrows, I swear on my life, that's what they were like.
Do it again.
I didn't shag her. I snogged the gaffer. Fuck off. He'll probably want to sue me after this one. Fuck you, ginger boy.
Did the Dodge and Micky Adams used to make you give your own scores or something? Was it in training or a game?
Well, Mickey was really good at getting, I wouldn't say the best out of people, but getting you wound up. Like, so for instance, the game would be going on and he'd go, Dodge, because Dodge is like I said to you, fucking prim and proper. Oh, yes, Gaffer. As he's running back, yes, Gaffer. Oh, Charlie, is he all right? So the game was stopped for a corner throw in, whatever. Dodge go, Charlie, Gaffer wants to know if you're okay. I go, Dodge, fuck yourself. And tell that midget bastard too. So obviously I'd lost a tackle or something ain't gone right. But then straight away, you're on it again then. The first person you see, you'll get your ironing out. But he had that way of getting that spark out of you. And that's what he used to do. And we played the game. And Ben and I asked Dodge, do you remember any stories? He said, do you remember the story at Exeter? So we played Exeter. And we was up the top and playing well. And I was playing well, feeling comfortable. Anyway, I'm going back towards my goal, out wide, going back towards my goal. And I can't remember what fullback was there. And I've tried to backheel it to him quickly without the winger knowing, like, sort of thing. Totally against the grain of Micky Adams as a manager. He's read it, obviously, like a book. Like, fucking, it weren't that great. It weren't Ronaldo doing it, it's Charlie Oatway fucking doing it. I think I even booted myself in the face when I'd done it. I'm looking. So as I've kicked the ball, backheeled it to him, the winger's got it, gone down the line, crossed it, bang, goal. Like that. Fuck. I can't remember if it was 1-1 then, or we might have even been losing. So, go up, take the kick off, the card goes up, Paul Rogers off. Dodge comes running past me. He's running past me. He goes, oh, that's it. Charlie does a back heel. We go 1-0 down. Take Dodge off. That's good, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, you stay on. Yeah, that's great. I went, sorry, Dodge. Fucking sorry, mate. Fucking hell.
I'd like to meet this guy.
Yeah, he's a fucking funny guy. Really bright, funny guy. One of the funniest men I've met in football. And a pleasure to play with. But regarding the scores, on the way back from Exeter, he's asked us to come up one at a time and do your scores. So Dodge, we've all done our scores. We give ourselves being humble and right. So 5s, 6s, 7s. So Dodge has gone up there. This is just at half time, roughly, he got taken off. So Dodge has gone up there and Micky went, all right, Dodge, so coming in, what do you think you fucking done today? He said, well, give yourself a score. Come on, be honest. What do you reckon you give yourself? He said, I'll give myself a 5, Gaffer. He went, 5? Fucking generous. He went, what do you mean, Gaffer? He said, that's fucking generous. Give yourself a fucking 5. He said, bearing in mind you come off at half time, he said, yeah, let's think about that, Gaffer. If I'd have played the whole game, that would have been another 5. That's a 10. He said it like that. And Micky Adams just went to him, go back down there, you silly posh prick, and start fucking thinking about how you played that first half. He tried to convince him that he would have got a 10 with the fucking...
That is a loaded question, by the way. You don't want to hear from the sideline.
Score.
Are you all right?
No. There's another one he used to say, tell him, whoever it was, not me, tell him to warm up, he's coming off. That was regular. I know it was regular comments years ago, things like that.
That's worse.
Yeah. Charlie, tell Rod Thomas, warm up, he's coming off. Or start walking over this way.
Did you change, what's the terminology?
D-bagging?
D-bagging. I can imagine you used to enjoy the D-bagging.
Well, Bobby Zamora tells that on another clip that I saw the other week. He says about it when he first come, his first day was doing a little box. We used to do little boxes, and then anyway, cut long story short, the ball apparently went out the box. It didn't go out the box, my opinion, but Alan Cook's opinion was it did go out the box. So I had to go in the middle. So I went, fuck that, debag him. So I shouted it, and then all the players stop what they're doing, no matter where you are. If you're injured, you've got to fucking peg it over there with one leg. You've got to get over there and you've got to get involved. So we're swiping at him, and he had these big, long, gangly legs like that, and fucking everyone's swiping at him, and it kept swiping him, and someone's caught him. And as he's gone down, well, Bobby said that, we manhandled him. They're not my sort of words. We beat the shit out of him. He got absolutely pummeled for just giving one wrong decision. One wrong decision. And I know he had about 2 or 3 days off because we cracked or broke a rib. But that weren't me, I had his feet, so that was someone else's.
And could anybody say it at any time?
Oh, yeah. And you had to join in.
So it wasn't just an hierarchy thing where it was like you and maybe some of the other...
It would be the main...
Bigger characters.
It'd be the bigger characters. I mean, if Alan Virgo said it, we'd say, shut up.
Slut.
Yeah. Kerry Mayo said it, he's probably facing the wrong way. There's no one there.
Would players get it as well?
Oh yeah, I mean, if sometimes if something went on, then yeah. So for instance, I'll say about Kerry Mayo and Gary Hart, Dodge called them, Paul Rogers called them the Peacehaven Plonkers, right? Or the Pouncers, Peacehaven Pouncers. When they went out on a Saturday night, there was the Peacehaven Pouncers. Lock your daughters up. And, anyway, so they picked up. When you come down the stairs in the training ground, at the university, you come down the stairs, and there's always, now, what time of year, this big puddle of water. So like I said to you about Kerry Mayo being like that. Gary Hart would be 100 mile an hour and aggressive. And then Kerry would be like, let's get him. Come on, let's get him. And they'd be hiding behind the bush. They was hiding behind the bush. Nathan Jones, don't know if you've ever done him. Nathan Jones is really like a placid guy, placid winger, good coach, good manager now. But anyway, they decided to hide behind the bush until, I don't know why they picked on him, but they decided to pick him up on a Friday, grab him, he's going like that, oh, get off, like that. Can we fucking stand still? And they walk over to this puddle, and as they walk over to this puddle, they fuck him off into the puddle, and you hear him scream. So Bob Booker comes down the stairs, like a big fucking giraffe, comes down the stairs. What's up with you? And he wouldn't swear. Nathan Jones won't swear. He's really religious. Nathan Jones was going, fucking hell, fucking hell, fucking hell. And then he looked down, he's pissing with blood. So Bob just walks over and he goes, oi, you two plonkers, get him over there, medical. Off he walks, you see these two, he's going, Kev's going, sorry about that. It was only meant to be a laugh, Jonesy. I didn't know there was glass in there. Didn't know there was glass in there.
So he cut his knee and couldn't play?
Couldn't play? Stitches. But Bob's sympathy was non-existent. Get him over there, medical.
I've never met this male, but that could be the best impression I've ever seen of somebody.
Ask anyone, Charlie's impression, is that roughly him? They go 100%. 100%.
How was Leon Knight in that dressing room?
I got on great with Leon. I mean, Leon's possibly like me. Marmite, possibly. But I got on great with him. One hell of a centre forward.
What was the crack with Leon in the nightclub?
Well, it's a few, really.
It's like a
And
side.
that's not only him, that's me as well. I remember once we was at a night. I remember twice. Please remind me to ask me about the situation with him again in the nightclub.
He's my favourite player in the player. I never even know who he is.
Leon, we were in a nightclub. I don't know why we was out in the passageway, but a few of us was out in the passageway, and I see Leon fly past. Comes flying past, running like fucking just as quick on the pitch. Next minute, I saw all these fucking wardrobes running behind him, doorman. So I thought, he's fucked here. So as I come running past, I've gone, fuck off. With the first one, they've gone down like a pack. They've just all gone. So I walked back in. I've just walked back in, and obviously Leon got away with it. But he got pulled up for a fight as well. And I said, I'll take it because I've got a way of getting around it. I knew bouncers and things like that. And my uncle was just got out of prison, and he was quite around the area.
To be fair though, mate, I'm no fucking detective, but you don't look alike.
It's the height, I think. I think that's where we had an argument. And it was dark. Nightclubs are dark. Did you really see what you saw? Did you hear what you heard?
Tell you what, lads, there's nothing like Wednesday night in, couple of beers, watching Bromby versus Sickleborg.
I'm with you.
You know a couple of lads playing, don't you? Mm-hmm. So we got on the Danish league, got the VPN on, bounced it over. Perfect.
Sickleborg are a lot better team than what I thought.
I know. They've surprised me today. Well, if you didn't know, with NordVPN, you can bounce your location to anywhere in the world, and it's perfect for watching anything, but specifically sports. Like we've been abroad, bounce your location to the UK, get on your subscriptions, watch the match.
And as for the security, keeps all the passwords, bank details, everything under lock and key.
So I wasn't aware that they could get on your shizzle. You know, when you're in an hotel or whatever.
Them hackers, when you're just using public Wi-Fi, hacking in, not with NordVPN.
Got to be careful.
Extra layer of security. And of course, we've got an offer. Links in the description.
This is the big dog.
4 months free.
How many?
4 months free subscription plus 30-day money-back guarantee.
Well, we can't say any better than that.
I'm honestly lost for words.
Yeah. Oh, yes! Ida Legerson. What a goal.
I don't know.
Ida Legerson. He just signed this summer.
Beautiful looking man and all. Beautiful.
I've got Neil Ruddock written down here. Not sure where it was on the list, where it comes in, but
That comes into a great story, because a great story is it come to bite me in the backside 20 years later in a funny way. So we won the league, and Micky, we had to do it at the ground. Micky invited Neil down to come and meet the lads. There's a possibility we could have signed him. I can't remember where he just got released from or left. We might have got 12 months out of him to help out the youngsters and that. So he comes down, and we had this, awards, player of the year and all that. And we're all having a good drink. He hires like a floor Neil Ruddock, of 3 or 4 rooms. So after the party ended, we all march up there. So cut long story short, we ended up staying, about 4 or 5 of us. Me thinking, fuck, I've got to go home. I'm going to get bang in trouble here. Like, explaining this. Like, the kids have got to go to school and all that. It was just carnage. And so I woke up, and then the next minute I look over, and Lee Still's, like, muttering around sort of thing in the bed. I went, you awake? He went, yeah, fuck. I'm going to get in shit here. Both had no money left, nothing like that. So went walking around, seeing if there's any dough we can nick. I went back to the street, and I'm nicking someone's money. I've got to get home. And then we're walking around. And then we see a set of keys on the side. Big BMW keys. I thought they've got to be Neil's. Fuck it, we'll take them. But we've got to find where the key... It's obviously parked in one of the car parks, but we've got to go through them. But the main one, where the ground is right out the back. So let's try that. So we started on the 5th floor. We're going down, I'm pressing this button on each floor. And then all of a sudden, beep, 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 beep. I swear, in them days, it looked like a spaceship, this BMW. I went, have a look at that. He went, we can't come in. I went, we fucking can. Well, you can stay here. I've got to go home. So I jump in the front. He gets in the passenger seat. We've got no money. We've got nothing. All we've got is this big BMW and a set of keys. So we go down. Geezer won't open up, will it? So we go to the geezer, listen, we left our missus earlier. They've took our wallets in their bags. Can you let us out? Take the reg. And he went, yeah, no problem, I'll take the reg. So we got him a fine and all.
All for the gate, for the barrier?
Yeah, for the gate. Because we didn't pay it. And so we've gone. I've dropped him home. And he was, I think, Burgess Hill. And I'm the opposite way. So I've drove the car then to where I am, Little Hampton Amering. And I've parked it round the corner and put the keys in the exhaust. So I thought, I've just got to get my head down. She's gone out. The kids have gone to school for fucking result. I can have a couple of hours kip. So I'm sleeping, and the next minute phone rings. And it's Micky. And he went, I went, Gaffer, you right? He went, no, not really. Where's the fucking car? I went, sorry? He said, where's the fucking car? I said, what are you talking about? He said, I know it's you. If it ain't you, find out who it is and phone me back in 5 minutes. So I rang him back. I went, what, Gaffer? Car. I went, believe this or not. And I named the street. He said, where is that? I said, Little Hampton. He said, is that not right by Amering? I said, yeah, it is. He said, that's a bit of a coincidence. That's right next to your fucking house. I said, I'm a bit shocked myself. And he went, whereabouts? So cut long story short, it's been forgotten about for 20 years. Literally, over that. I go to the PFA 50th Awards last year, I think it was, me and the CEO. The CEO is one of my close friends, so he knows the story. He went, there's Neil Ruddock over there. He went, let's go over this way. I'm like, fuck that. So I made a beeline for him. And he was talking to, it was him, Ian Rush and John Barnes, all sitting at the corner talking, drinking. So I waited for them to stop talking. He looked round like that. And I went, all right, Neil? He went, all right, mate? I said, do you remember me? He fair play to me. He went, no, what did I do? I went, you didn't do anything, but I did. He went, what'd you do? I said, do you remember about 20 odd years ago, someone nicking your car? He went, boom. Right in my ribs. Like that. I went, ooh. He went, I've been looking for you for 20 years.
Been half all right, though.
Fucking brilliant. Yeah. He would have done the same. You know what I mean? That sort of mentality of being a donut, you do with the same sort of breed. So, but he just the way he just reacted and just punched me in the ribs. Just, I thought, yeah, you do for me because I've heard stories like he's heard stories about me. Probably
a sad day for the D-bag then when Micky left. Did it not continue?
Oh fucking hell, yeah, yeah. It continued, and only did that. I remember we had other managers before Peter Taylor, but I remember Peter Taylor coming in. He come in training, and me and Chippy were roomed together for many years and good mates. And everyone's playing against each other, two sides playing against each other, and everyone's kicking lumps out of each other. That's how we were. We had to train and play the same way. We had to be. So Richard booted me, and I've booted him back, and then something's happened. He's gone, whoa! Blow the whistle, whoa! What's this? Everyone's looking at him, thinking, what the fuck are you talking about? What's this? Kicking each other. And so that's how we. And Bob Booker went, that's how they train, Gaffer. That's how they play. He said, no, you can't be doing that. from then on, I knew I weren't going to be his sort of player. But listen, personal choice, that's football, isn't it?
7 years at Brighton overall. 3 promotions and a relegation in that, am I right
I think
saying?
that's right, yeah. I think that's right, yeah. We had 1 playoff promotion. I think we had 2 or 3 promotions after that, before or after that, I think. And maybe a couple or 1 relegation.
Were there opportunities to leave in that time?
Well, funny enough, I didn't get on well with Peter Taylor when he come in. Not on a personal level, on a football level. Personal level, I think he's a lovely man, great guy. So I could separate the two. Some people can't. If you don't pick them, you're an horrible bastard. I weren't like that. If there's proof in the pudding, I'll accept it. So he brought in a couple of players, and I was captain, and moved me to the side. So he wanted to bring in Kasky at that time, who was playing for Notts County, and it was going to be a swap deal. But the swap deal was going to be a loan. And I said, for me to move out of this club, it's got to be permanent. Because I'm not going to go there and come back and make out I'm back and I love this club again.
Yeah.
Because if I love the club, why not stay and fight? That's what was my attitude. So if I go, I'm accepting that I've got to go, but I've got to go whole hog. I can't be a part-time sort of loan go. So I think Brighton, Notts County couldn't afford the full deal. And I don't know what that was but I nearly went to Notts County, yeah.
How old were you when you left?
I was there all in all, I think, as a player, about 9, I think. But when I injury toll, I do this. I go into football clubs with a joint adventure with the PFA to a certain degree. They give us a certain amount of funding, the Russell Martin Foundation, and we do bits. And now I go into football clubs talking to players, pros, and now the Football League have got me going in to speak to young apprentices. And I go and talk to them about misdemeanors of life in football. So that could be divorce rates. It could be, do you know divorce rates? It's like 50% after 12 months of finishing your career, 75% by 50. Then it's agents, then it's injuries, then it's investments. I've fucked up on a couple of investments. It's about what you spend your money on in cars, holidays. Are you prepared for what's happening at the end? Because I weren't. I'm talking from experience. So I do this sort of work, and one of my clips is the injuries I've had. So the injuries I've had, like all of us, but I've had 3 cartilage operations, 2 on that one on this one. And then the last operation I had was this one, where it collapsed from, I broke my leg. Broke my leg, ruptured my ankle. I had slip discs in my neck, got a piece of my hip, put into my neck, take the discs out, put that back into the neck. And then the last one, after 2 years and 3 operations on my leg, thinking I'm going to get back, my knee collapsed from compensating, and I had bone on bone constantly then. So they drilled I was fucked. And it's just took its toll, all them injuries. And any of them could finish you. Like, the percentage of your career in the sense of the average footballer's career span, lifespan. And I put a flick on, I asked these kids, I asked players, pros, and they say 10, 12, 15 years. And I go, and it turns over and it's 7 years. It's fucking 7 years. Obviously, that's not everybody. But so I go around talking about injuries, and injuries was a big part of my career, as well as anything else. I had some bad injuries.
Did you get the proper send-off when you finished after, being there, like I said, 9 years?
Well, my proper send-off was I had a job.
I mean, did you get that chance to say goodbye to the fans and everything?
No, I had 3 years. I had 2 years, with all the operations and things like that. And we was meant to have the team photo. Dean Wilkins, as a man that I've got not much respect for, he was the manager at the time. He wanted all young pros. He didn't really want senior pros. And for me to break down in front of him and tell him I can't do this anymore, in front of the CEO, Alan, who's my mate, and say to him I can't do this anymore, it's fucked. And to take a hug off him when I knew he didn't mean it is one of the bitter pills in my mouth still in life that I should have gone fuck off. Because I knew that because when I walked through the changing room, the first day of pre-season, after the operations and all that, the knee ain't given way yet. I'm walking through and the club honoured the contracts. So give me another year. They didn't have to. Didn't throw me to the fucking wayside. Dick Knight and the club at that time. And I walked through the doors and all the youngsters are walking in. This is what he wanted. And me, Rich and Carpenter, there was one or two others maybe. And we knew that we was on our way out, no matter how well we played or done. And then I'm walking through the door. He's coming down the stairs to go into the other door. The other door, he went, "Oh, morning, Charlie. Good luck." Like that. And it wasn't good luck sarcastically, so I'm not trying to say that, but it was just like, good luck. And I just thought, I didn't need that at that time. I needed to feel part of something that I've been away for 2 years. But to say good luck to someone walking through the door was the first real big kick in the bollocks before the knee giveaway. So I didn't get that opportunity to say thank you for everything. But the club said I had a week off and then I'll go and work for the community scheme.
Sorry, Charlie, on that, do you know if they'd have not given you that job straight away, do you think you'd have gone back to old Charlie?
A strong possibility. Strong possibility, because people of my family were getting out and they were doing things, and I wouldn't have I don't think I could have let my family suffer. So I don't know.
First letter to Brighton.
Yeah.
That's why I really hold Dick Knight as the ex-chairman so high, because he had to penny pinch from fucking everywhere to not only buy the club, buy the players. You know, people loaned him money and things like that. And then, you know, we got us promoted and he started building the club. And then to say but to be fair, I've got to take a little bit of a pat on the back. That's the way I was in the community anyway. So the community scheme would ask players, I don't know what the clubs you guys played at, we'd have to do a certain amount a year. And I was always the one that said, I'll do it. I'll do it. So my name got not only as a player, but as a person in the community. So I had a bit of a community status.
So again, you've done it again, haven't you?
So I've done that
by establishing yourself within the community.
I don't know if that's subconsciously or just the way I am, but so I've built that a little bit. So for him to give me that, I think I was sticking out to maybe go down that route to help the organisation get bigger in the sense of the community side.
If you think back to your mindset back then, did you think that was you working in the community? You know, obviously we know where we're going to find out where it took you. But at the time, did you think, thank fuck for that, I've got a job, I'm stable, I can keep out of bother? And where was the journey to where you ended up with your coaching?
I think that was the start of the end of my marriage. I went from whatever I was on to 26 grand a year. So what are we going to do? Well, I've got a clue. Why don't you get a fucking job? Let's give that a whirl.
How do you like them apples?
Job centre. But I was, again, pleased to have a job, and I thought that was me. But it weren't me because, again, it's the people you surround yourself with and the people that they see something in you and vice versa. So Alan, the CEO at that time, one of the heads of Albion the community, he started pushing me to do my coaching badges and I weren't ready. I'm thinking, I'm fucked, I'm out of football. He done my level 1 and 2 with me and done all my book work and done the coaching. And done all the coaching with me. And then level B and obviously your A licence, you're on your own. But that was the sort of period then that I started coming out and being a little bit more open about my dyslexia and things like that. So I managed to get through my B licence by hook, by crook with a little bit of help. But with my A licence, I just went in the day that I was literally going up to Manchester to do it with my peers. I just went in and I said to the PFA rep and whoever was taking it, I said, in front of everyone, look, I'm going to be honest, I can't read and write. I can't do this book work. But I'm coaching at a high level because this is the time that Gus had come in. And I got that bollocks all of a sudden to start asking them questions of people saying, no, let's not make out we do everything for each other. I'm saying to you, I can't do that. Fair play, PFA, next day went, boom, on the table with a load of paperwork and said, that's all your answers.
Where was the link with Poyet?
So I was doing my coaching, things like that, and then in the community scheme, I get a phone call from Dennis Wise. He said, you're going to get a phone call from an agent in a minute. I went, oh yeah. He said, and the club. So Dennis knew before, most people knew, because Gus had already started doing his homework on the staff. So then the chairman phoned me up and said, look, we want you to come out of the community scheme for 2 weeks and look after Gus. He's going to get a job because they've just sacked Russell Slade. So I said, okay. I thought, fucking hell, well out of my depth here. But I said, okay. So I just thought it might be driving him to the hotel, doing a couple of bits. No, it weren't. It was on the pitch. And so I had to do that. So we go in the next day. So then I got the agent phone me, the chairman phone me, and obviously Dennis. So the next day we go in, and we're all around the table like this, all staff. There must have been about 10, 11 of us. And he's going around each individual person with his piece of paper and pen. And Tano's sitting next to him like the silent assassin, really quiet man. And starts taking down our job roles. And he comes around to me and there's a few more people. And he goes, and what about you? I said, I'm Charlie Oatway. He went, yeah, I know about you. What about you? And just moved on from me. It's like he's already got the acceptance from Dennis.
Oh, but did you tell it as a positive, not a...
Yeah, no, not a negative.
Not a dismissive.
No. I don't need to know about you. I know everything about you.
Yeah.
And he went round the table and went round everyone else. So in the meantime, I started working with him. We was in every day, no Sundays off, fighting relegation in Division 1. No days off. And Steve Brown, do you remember him? He's a wrong one, put it that way. You don't want to do him. Anyway, so they said, both of you start helping Gus. He was working for the under 18s at the time with Martin Inchwood. So he's got all cocky in there. So in the games and that, before the games, he's taking down all the notes that Gus and Tano are doing. I don't know why. They're up there for the players, not for you, you prick. So he's taking down all the notes, trying to be busy in that, and I'm just being me. I'm talking to players about what to do, get the first tackle, basics. They already know it, but you're just trying to encourage. And then he don't turn up on a Sunday, Steve Brown. So Gus goes, hey, Charlie, where's fucking Steve? I said, don't know, Gaffer. He said, well, okay. And he was meant to do the same job as me for 2 weeks. On a Wednesday or Thursday, he goes to the club and he said, I don't want this fucking Steve. No more, Steve. Give me Charlie. And after about 10 days, 11 days, he got me out of the community scheme, but I had it in my contract that if anything fucks up, I can go back to my role. That's all I was worried about, is make sure I had a job. And then our relationship just built, really, from there. And I started working with him. After a week, I went in and just been blatantly honest about my reading and writing. Said that I won't be able to help you in that capacity, but anything else I can. So, because I asked Dennis, what should I do? He said, go and tell him. Just go and fucking tell him. So I went and told him. He was absolutely brilliant with it, so no problem at all. So it wasn't a barrier. He knows.
Yeah.
And you could just be yourself all the time. Yeah. Was your main thing in the job description was just to be yourself around the lads, be the go-between?
Yeah. So if they had a problem, come to me, the players. If Gus had a problem, I go and deal with it. Firefight, best way I could say. If anything needed firefighting, I would go and deal with it. And that was a player. So the players had problems. Amount of night time as we went into the championship, night time calls I would get, or in the morning, from players with a situation that I had to go and deal with that some of them he didn't even know.
When you're putting sessions on at this point, are you half winging it?
No. Because by then I was learning. I was learning constant. I don't know much of what you guys know about dipping into education in the sense of visual learning. I'm a visual learner. Mm-hmm. If you wrote it down and started saying to me, go right here, turn left there, where would that take you? I wouldn't have a clue. If you showed me it, I'll get there. So me watching Gus and Tano set up, I was learning on a day-to-day basis.
Went for a run yesterday in my O'Neill shirt.
Did you get many beeps?
Beeps, whistles, beeps, whit-woos.
Wolf
honking.
whistles or...
Wolf whistle.
No.
Chris, you're an attractive 40-year-old man.
I don't think it's me. I think it's the shirt.
Makes sense.
Well, we have to say a massive thank you to O'Neill Sportswear for sponsoring not just the episode, but the entire series once again.
Custom-made kits, 4 to 6 weeks designed to deliver.
If you've got a team, whether that's 11 aside, 5 aside, 8 aside, 6 aside, all the sides.
Minimum of 12.
Yep.
Maximum of... Well, there is no maximum.
No.
They will clothe the whole of England if you order them.
The main selling point for me, though, is the quality of the kit. You know, you just, for the price, for the numbers that you're getting, for how quick you get it, designing your own kit, putting your own touch on it, you can, like we said before, I think you 1-0 up before you've even kicked off.
Disagree with us if you want, but I wouldn't hesitate in wearing that down the pub with a pair of jeans. Or playing five-a-side.
Or running down Charlie Road.
Very quickly.
So all you've got to do is follow the link in the description, or you can go to o'neillsportswear.com.
That is very good gear, by the way. It's
Good
probably
piece of
it's
kit.
probably the best that we've put his name
Unbelievable
to.
quality. Unbelievable quality.
Poogate. That's what I want to speak about.
Strange that, because anytime that I do anything similar to this, maybe not even only in Brighton, but mainly in Brighton when I do these sort of things, there's always someone in the audience what don't know the full truth. So, playoff final against Palace, we've got a good chance to go through second leg. We all prepare. We was in a meeting about these clapper things. So Paul Barber was there. Me, Gus, Tano. Cleaner comes to the door. My job is always to mop up and sweep up. So I go to the door, open the door. The cleaner says, Charlie, Ian Holloway wants to speak to Gus. So Gus goes, Charlie, fucking hell, deal with it. I'm fucking busy. I'm talking. So I go off. I go and see him. He's screaming. He's hollering his shout. He's screaming. So I won't be spoken to. Not anyone should be spoken to. And he weren't overly rude, but he was getting a bit aggressive. So I said, drop down a gear. What's happened? So he starts telling me there's some sort of incident. Well, he was using the word shit everywhere. And in his defence, he went and showed me, and it was fucking everywhere. So I go, listen, Ian, all I can say is I apologise on behalf of the club. So the two poor women start getting it. He's going fucking ballistic. He's used it to their strength. They won. I would have done exactly the same. So people ask me this question, but it's out. If anyone's got half a brain cell, to listen to the right people, everyone knows it was the coach driver, fell ill. And he had nothing to clean it up with because they hadn't got all the cleaning products out for the game.
Is this Palace's coach driver?
Yes, yeah. So he goes in there, but when he went in there, it was when they dropped the fucking kit off. So they leave the hotel, don't they?
Yeah.
Go down there, set up, and go back. He's fell ill then. Gone back, ain't made it known to anybody. They've come in and thought it's someone from the club. And then it comes out everywhere. Everyone starts telling it. Either Palace players are telling people who it was, Bar players are telling people who it was, Tony Bloom, Paul Barber, they're telling people who it was. Everyone knows who it was. That's that, and I explain that every time. And I've done one about 6 months ago. Again, 2 people asking me. But to see a podcast just after, it might have been just after or just during lockdown with Cole, not Ashley Cole, Joe Cole. Joe Cole was doing a podcast with someone else and have Ian Holloway on it. And Ian Holloway say that I got to the ground, we're going through the tunnel. As we're going through the tunnel, I see Charlie Oatway leaning up against the wall. And if you see his face, he's smirking and he's doing that. And you look at his face, I mean, his face looks like he's been taken off and been chewed on and put back. So I don't know why he's talking about people's faces. But him to say that about me and say that, try to put me in the frame of being part of it or doing it or knowing who done it, was a fucking disgrace.
So was he insinuating that if you didn't do it, you knew
He was saying I was part of it.
Yeah.
100%. He was, why mention my name?
Yeah.
Why don't you mention a player's name? Why don't you mention Tano's name or the goalkeeping coach, Andy Beasley, whoever? Why my name? The reason why is because of who I am. And I don't mean that cocky-wise. It's the way that I am as taking a piss and all that sort of stuff.
I can just imagine, because surely he's still going off on the bus afterwards and the bus driver must know it's him.
Yeah.
And he's just, well, I'm going to say shit his pants, but...
You had two players, by the time we'd gone in the bar, had phoned, I can't remember who it was, phoned our players, whoever it was, and they were talking about it. And it was already common knowledge in changing rooms that it was, the situation happened how it happened.
Must have been some bad stomach, that mine, wasn't it? The toilet could only be 10 yards
cubicles,
away.
aren't they? They're fucking cubicles, that's all they are. and I swear it was everywhere.
I mean, the driver's played a blinder because he's loaded the gun for Holloway, hasn't
Fucking
he?
right. 100%. 100%.
Ian, it were him. The old curly finger.
Did you know that if Poyet ever left, he'd take you with him?
He used to say out on the coach all the time to the players winding up. Because you guys are free Northerners, so I can, when we used to go anywhere past Watford, and we had Northerners on the coach, I'd say to Gus, Gaffer, like, so, go, I don't know, wherever you are, Leeds, Manchester, wherever you are. Gaffer, see that? When you pull up in the motorway and you see an estate. I say, see that estate over there? You go, yeah, Charlie. You buy that? Yeah? Yeah, £1. Fucking £1. And all the Northerners used to go fucking ballistic at the back. Fuck off, you tramps. And it used to be a common joke, like that sort of thing. So we used to buy into each other's characters. And they'd go, Charlie, when we'd win a game, we'd be on the coach, everyone's buzzing. And he'd go, Charlie, when we fucking get a big club, are we taking any of these? And I go, 1 or 2 of the Southerners, maybe. Fuck the Northerners, Gaffer, I'm forgetting it was bad. But he used to always imply there was a possibility. But in my eyes at that time, I was going nowhere. I love Brighton, and they've been fucking good to me. So they was definitely going to get my loyalty, even if it was 200 grand more a year. I would have stayed put.
Do you know, in terms of your role, would you ever come in on a morning and Poyet would go, get the lads going, or just
100%.
that
Get
type?
down,
Cause some bollocks on.
Yeah.
go down and fucking say something. What he meant was go down and start slapping some people around the head, mucking about. Amount of times he walk past the change room and go, fucking too far, Charlie. Fucking hell. Well, I've got one of them stripped down. Fucking hell. Tano would be walking past on his phone, look and go, just wouldn't say anything.
So when it came to leaving for Sunderland, what was the story there? Too good to turn down?
Well, we all got sacked. I just thought my whole world had been tipped upside down.
It's your first thought, right,
It's
we're
me.
back to the community.
My first thought was, what have I done to warrant that I have to be on gardening leave? I didn't even know them words at that time. I got told after, you're on gardening leave by educated people. So I thought,
We got your gloves and your pitchfork.
fucking hell. That's exactly what I thought. Like, what the fuck does that mean?
I'm not even into gardening.
I ain't got green fingers. So I panicked. I'll be honest, I panicked. I started trying to phone Gus, Tano, they wouldn't pick up. So I thought it was definitely a personal thing I've done wrong. So I panicked even more. She's telling me and my mate, calm down, you ain't got a clue what the fuck it is. Let's find out what it is first. And then I got a call off a number I didn't know. And I spoke to who I had to speak to, if that makes sense without saying it on radio, and found out it was all of us. We was all on gardening leave, me, Gus and Tano. So that went on for months and months and months. I didn't hear from anyone. I didn't know my head from my arse. And then we went to an agreement financially, because that year was my testimonial year.
The sacking, was it purely football based? Down to
They
results,
reckon it
or was
wasn't.
the
They
something else?
reckon it wasn't. They reckon there was other irons in fires about the reason why. But I think they wanted a clean ship. You know, they just wanted if one's going, all three go. And I think they felt I jumped in bed with them more than what maybe I should have done or haven't. Or I didn't. I personally didn't know how to play that card. I thought I was there to just be their right-hand man. Any trouble, anything like that I can deal with regarding making it easier, smoother. I thought that was my job. So, yeah, they got rid of all of us. And then we was off for a couple of months, and then I was watching Sunderland. There was a game, and I just had an inkling, and then Gus phoned me. He said, "Are you watching the game?" I said, "Yeah." I said, he said, "What do you think?" So I already knew. And I said, "Well, you got a chance with it." He said, "What do you think of them, though?" And I said, "Well, I think there's something you can do. I think we can do something with them." I mean, they had 1 point in 7 games. You know, it was going to be fucking hard. It's hard to get points in Premier League, isn't it? And there was negotiations. The next minute, I'm driving up to be a Premiership first team coach. I thought, what?
It's a whirlwind, isn't it?
Complete. Like a Premier League first team coach. Fuck off. I thought, no way, no. I must be dreaming or something.
How did the lads take you up there?
Yeah, I think there was a little bit of these guys ain't managing the Premier League. Gus had coached in it, but not managed. Even though they played in it, but they've not managed. So I think there was a little bit of that in there at the first. But until we started breaking down and Gus started breaking down how we want to play and how enjoyable it could be and what we can achieve and what we did achieve, was fucking phenomenal. Like, you know, they started buying it. We had some big characters. John O'Shea, Wes Brown, Lee Cattermole, Danny Graham, people like that. You know, we had some big characters, good players, but just set in this rut year after year of fighting relegation. And Gus's belief is if you keep fighting every year, one year you're going to be unlucky. It's going to happen.
Yeah, you're going to go on, aren't you?
And of course it did. It happened. It happens to all of them, doesn't it? When they get, you know, and you're fighting every year, and then sooner or later, it happens.
It was at Newcastle 3-0 though. That's what I remember.
I mean, it was just fucking phenomenal. We beat them 3 times in the time that we was up there. We beat them up home, I think, home twice and at Newcastle once, I think. And it was just where everything he wanted clicked that day. Just everything he wanted, how he wanted to play, how he believed football should be played. That day it clicked. And yeah, we really played well that day. And you know better than anyone, like you can't get a better time to win a real big derby and need them points to fight relegation. And when you fight your rivals and you beat them on their own doorstep heavily, you know, it was magnificent for us.
Did you buy a couple of housing estates while you're up there?
No, I don't fancy living up there. I looked
I had a 5 and I got 5.
I was driving home one day and I looked in the side bit and I had about £4. But I thought I would get some chewits instead.
But did you appreciate the North differently after you went on the lived?
Listen, if you talk to my missus, the best period I'm on about period of people that I met and lived in was living up north. She was devastated when we got sacked. Fucking devastated. We go on holidays with friends of ours from up there. We once godparents to our kid, and you know, we loved it up there.
See, it's not bad above what could get.
It's all right. It's all right. It's all right for an holiday of 18 months. That's about it. And that was my contract. I mean,
how did you as a staff deal with the Adam Johnson situation?
Yeah, that was tough. I mean, because it come out of the blue like anything like that does, doesn't it? And it come out of the blue. It was a tough one for us because it's a borderline, we were getting investigated as staff. So, for instance, we'd do fines and things like that. And he was mentioning that why was you there at that point and why was that money there? And he was saying, I had to pay my fines to Charlie and Andy Beasley. So Andy Beasley, I never collected any money. I was more the enforcer. Come and pay up your money. You've done wrong, got to pay your money. It all went back to them. So he was mentioning our names. So I know Andy Beasley got phone calls from the police. I had a couple of missed calls from a number that I didn't fucking pick up. I just thought, well, there's no way in the world, unless they come and see me face to face, I don't want to get involved in this. This is something really alien to my beliefs as a human being. So I didn't want to get involved in that one iota.
You didn't want him back, did you?
I fucking did. I said to Gus and that, it's like, I won't be here if he comes back. Because I'll put myself vulnerable with a nicking, and I'll put you vulnerable with getting sacked for one of your staff members doing what I would want to do to him. Because that's growing up, and most people growing up, it doesn't matter where you live. That is a no-go conversation, let alone anything else. So I wouldn't trust myself around the man. 100% I wouldn't trust myself. So, you know, we had the heated conversation about that, but...
Yeah. Was there a car explosion in Greece?
Yeah. Fucking hell.
Nicely swerved there, Chris.
That place was carnage, man. It was horrendous. Referee gave a bad decision. I think it was against Pauk, against Olympiacos. Next minute, he's at home. Fucking bang, his car goes up.
Whose car goes up?
The referees. Blowing up. It's all on TV. Then the Pauk chairman runs onto a pitch to be confrontational to the referee, and you look, and he's got a gun and a holster. It's like, what the fuck are we doing out here? It's like,
No matter how nice a country it is.
fucking lovely when I'm sitting by the pool in the back garden, but going to training or games, you're just putting your own life at risk. So I do the shooting session just before we kick off. Doing a shooting session, the ball boys and the kit man goes and gets the ball. Kit man, 21, skinny little runt he was. Anyway, ball go flying over. He goes and gets it. Goes to get the ball. Goes to him, no. Like in Greek, give me the ball. No. He says, give me the fucking ball. He goes, and pulls out a knife. Keep the ball. Got number.
How long after you left Sunderland were you in Greece?
I think it was about, if I got it right, about 6-8 months, I think.
Right.
And there was only the three of us. Me, him, and Tano went to Greece, and then
You've built this trio now, haven't you?
it was a real. We got each other in different capacities. Tano really quiet. Gus unloads everything on Tano. It's like the counsellors for each other, and then there's me, which is totally fucking alien to the group, but it worked.
It works.
And when we turned up, we got off the airport. Out of the airport, and there's the player liaison guy, and he's saying you got cars out there for you. Lots of we're thinking all freak up. We go out there. It's like going out and you're looking at fucking Herbie. It was a leap of each one of them was a leap of shit. And they're like, we can't take these fucking cars. They give us free, and everything was just every time was the goalpost moves. And then later on down the line, Gus got a great job. He goes out there for the first training session to sold the land. They sold the land. He had nowhere to train, and he's a great national team manager. It was so weird but every country's different, isn't it?
And how long were you out there? Sorry.
We was out there a year, and then Gus sent an email to the club. We ain't going to stay any longer. Thank you for the year. It's been brilliant. Hopefully we win the semi-final tomorrow and get into the final. They come straight down to the hotel and sacked us. But because they didn't like that. It's got to be their way, not your way.
Yeah.
And then we went from there straight to, within weeks, we're on the beach in Greece, all talking about what's next, what we can do. And we've left there with a good, feather in our cap. And then we went to Real Betis.
Fucking hell.
I didn't even realise he's went there.
Yeah, went to Real Betis, sitting on the beach.
It's from the Brighton football in the community.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, unfucking-believable, eh? A boy that still can't read and write. And now he's getting me and the goalkeeping coach to try and learn his Spanish. I can't read and write English. My own language.
That's asking a little bit too much, Gus.
He said, I think you're going to have to learn the basics. I went, oh, what, English? We're on about English.
Did you find that difficult? Obviously, a big part of, I'm imagining, you being part of that team is the relationship with the players, being able to have them conversations when
Take the piss.
When you can't speak the same languages.
So the fitness coach is the Chelsea's fitness coach now, who was Ronde Ramos' fitness coach and been everywhere around the world, speaks good English. Gus and Tano speak Spanish, obviously Spanish speakers, and a couple of players spoke Spanish. So when I was taking the piss, it just come natural because they would echo what I said. So I was still being able to take the fucking piss heavily.
And could they take it the same?
Oh yeah, they loved it. Yeah,
Yeah.
they loved it. Come in, make a beeline for me and things like that. Take my shoes and fuck about. So even in Spain, you still lack of communication because of your language barriers. Still didn't stop the relationships building.
Did you do well over there?
No, the club didn't have any money. It was the one job that Gus says he should never have taken. Wrong time, wrong club. But what a fucking experience.
Yeah.
Our first game, we're away, Switzerland, pre-season. We go to Germany, Switzerland, somewhere else. pre-season, was away for about 3 weeks. Fitness coach comes in. We're having a team talk about 7 o'clock at night before dinner. Team talk. The fixtures were coming out. What's the first game? They start speaking in Spanish. I went, what's that, Gaffer? He said, Barcelona away. I'm going to Barcelona away, first game. Warming up the players against Messi. There was Messi, Suarez. They was in the team that sort of time. I'm doing a 5v5, a 4v4 plus 2 here. And just outside that door, which is the other side of the halfway line, is them guys warming up there doing roughly the same sort of. Pep Guardiola was a manager. I think, what the fuck am I doing?
Think about getting
Do you
Messi.
not know that I went to prison? I can't, it was surreal. And I'm so thankful to Gus and everyone and Brighton Football Club for making me in that position that I could build that relationship with him, that we went and done them things.
Crazy, man.
Because when I tell people that, they go, no, you don't. I'll go and speak to kids in prisons and places like that, and they go to me, who's the best person you met? Have you met Ronaldo? Yeah, I have. 3 weeks later, we had Real Madrid at home. Ronaldo played. Gus spoke to him, and this is Charlie. I shook his hand. I don't give anyone real big. I don't care who you are. Like, we're all the same. Fucking the geezer's the best player I think ever lived, and it was just like surreal again. Yes, I have met these people. I haven't spoke to them. I ain't got a relationship with them, but yes, I have met them. The answer to your question was yes, I have.
Yeah.
Do you know, like, when you left Betis, how long was it with the China crack?
We hadn't left Spain. I was sitting in the back garden having a barbecue, thinking this is the life, and even though we're sacked. And then Gus whispering on the phone to me. I said, what's the matter, Gaffer? He said, we've got a job. I said, yeah. Why are you whispering? He said, I'm in a place that I can't let too many people know, but yeah, we've got a job. He said, I said, where? He said, China. I said, where? He said, China. And I just thought to myself, what the fuck? China? Like,
I'm all I'm going to fucking Sunderland.
fucking hell. So I meant, again, like everyone knows, finances were great, but as a place to go and live and a different type of way of living, I found tough.
Yeah.
I think it's one of them we either love it or...
Oh, yeah. I know people what were out there when we met and they go, we love it. We've been here for so much. I think, fucking hell. No, I couldn't do that, I don't think.
Cultural differences.
Yeah, totally different. And we lived in Shanghai, which is, obviously a big part of China in the sense of.
It's like the London of China, isn't it?
It is.
It's more Western culture.
Yeah, it is. So
Being
you've
out in
got
the sticks.
all of your restaurants that you would want, Turkish, Spanish, English if you wanted it, certain places from America, all that, anything you wanted you could have. So, yeah, I mean, we was in probably the best place in China, but for me, it was like hard.
Talking of big hitters, Tevez was there, wasn't he?
Yeah, I mean, there was a big like, Gus was to tell us what was going on, and he said they want to fucking sign Tevez. I went, what? He said, they want to sign fucking Tevez. So I said, when will that be done? He said, well, they reckon they'll do it in the next day or two. Next minute, we're going in the training ground, and he walks. Carlos Tevez, £650,000 a week.
Is that what we were on?
It's common knowledge, so it's not like I'm saying something out of order.
Yeah.
It's common knowledge. He brought 19 people with him. He brought his sisters, he brought his brothers, their wives, their kids, a chef, his golf partner, and they had to pay for everything. Chinese, not him.
And he's on $650 a week and he's still making them...
All his accommodation, everything. That was part of the deal.
And how was he?
I loved him. I just go to him like, because he started a bit like, hey, Carlo! Like when he used to walk in, hey, Charlie, every morning. And then when we used to go out, and Gus used to talk, so you had a couple of Spanish. No, you didn't. You had Argentinian, 2 Colombians, somewhere from like Singapore, somewhere like a player like that. So you had all different types of interpreters, and then you had one that was speaking English for me and a goalkeeping coach. So after a few games and all that, I've realised it weren't rocket science. They're shit, the Chinese. They ain't good players. We must be really unfortunate at this club, or they are fucking seriously really bad players. So every morning, Gus would start talking in Spanish, and the translators are going and all that, and I'd be looking around to try and get an eye contact with anyone that spoke English, Spanish, or anything different from the Chinese, and I'd get eye contact with him near enough most days. Carlos, and I'd go, Carlos, like, here you go, Chinese. But I wouldn't make the noise, and he'd start giggling, and Gus would be going like that, and he'd go, Carlos, Spanish, you know, what's the matter? What are you laughing at? He'd go, amigo, Charlie. I said, what? So he's obviously told him in Spanish without the signs, I reckon the Chinese are shit. Shit at football. So and his brothers, I mean, we stayed in a hotel and we was there because you couldn't always get a flight. So you might fly somewhere and you couldn't get a flight for 2 or 3 days back. So you stay in a hotel, train there and eat there and all that. So I'd go down in the bar with Gus and all that. They'd go up, but his brothers would be there. And me, him, and his brothers would play pool and have a beer and all that sort of stuff. Well, let me buy a beer. Sweet. No problem. We sit there playing pool and translate on the phone, he would, and things like that. And then I would have my missus, I'd have to send it on to her for her to read it back to me. Fuck's sake.
Oh, dear.
What was the crack in the taxi?
Taxi. Oh. It's not... When you get a sight of a taxi, you think car. No, anything goes in China. Anything could be a taxi. So me and my missus thought it would be a fun idea to go out for an Italian meal, freezing cold, have a beer, and then jump on a taxi back on a motorbike. So I'm at the back, she's in the middle, geezer's on the front, driving us to the hotel. As we get to the hotel, we've both got our hands in our pockets now, and we're shivering. The geezer tips it. I ain't got my hands out quick enough. I've gone bosh against the curb and split the corner of my eye wide open. And that's the story about the fucking taxi. I got a taxi home on a motorbike and smashed my fucking head completely open. And they won't let you in China. The Europeans or anyone will say to you, don't go to the Chinese hospitals. Let's get him back into his room, split open. I was concussed. Let's get him back into the room and we'll deal with him. And they got a doctor, it was a German hotel. They got one of their own doctors would come up. They glued it and all that sort of stuff, wiped the blood. They wouldn't let me go to a Chinese hospital.
Was there not something about going in the wrong direction?
Well, we still had money out there. And it was so hard to get it back over here. And because I was well down the food chain in the sense of the coaching staff, Gus and Tano got sorted out straight away, and then we'd deal with you whenever. So we flew back home, and then we had to fly back out there. But because of the time scale that we was in, and then we got delayed, and we didn't sleep on the flight. We got in the cab, Tom in the hotel. He's gone 2 hours the opposite way. So we're fucking in this taxi.
What, you were asleep in the taxi?
We was asleep, so we fell asleep. And then one of us woke up and then realised that we've gone 2 hours the wrong way because he's saying, wherever it's fucking saying, but we've seen signs that we've not seen before. So we've got to get him to pull up in a European hotel, another German hotel, funny enough, and get them to explain where he's gone and where he had to go. So we spent fucking 4 hours in a taxi after a 13-and-a-half-hour flight, going completely the boss-eyed
What was
way.
he saying in Chinese? Was he going, if I've seen it, I'm fine?
Oh, fucking right. I was cracking him now.
You weren't in the back of the taxi going, I want to show you. He's just driving as far away as possible. He's just going to kick it out and fuck off.
What's next for you then, mate?
I've been working for the Russell Martin Foundation for on and off for about 5 years. I've got things in wheels in motion with prisons, kids, and trying to get them not out of, because some of these kids, 30% of the kids that I see in these prisons are doing life. I can't help them, but I can try to help them look at different things and life in different ways. I try to, and I go into schools, I go into prisons, I go into football clubs now. I go into football clubs with apprentices and pros and talk about different things, what can happen, and it's all life lived experience.
I mean, finances aside, do you get more satisfaction from doing this stuff than the football?
100%. I I can't see myself going back into football ever again now. I think there's more longevity in this, and I think there's more pats on the back in the sense of the emotional side for me to go and do that than get 3 points on a Saturday. And I don't want to move my daughter around. So I think this is my pathway now, I think.
Thanks for coming on, Charlie.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Unbelievable
No, pleasure.
story. Thanks
Thanks,
for
mate.
Thank you.
sharing it with us.
You do his eyes again.
Oh, fuck off.
We have missed one, you know.
Have we?
P-Thick's Wacky Races.
Well, that was Christ Hospital. We used to train there. We used to meet there because it was easy for the parking, and Christ Hospital is fucking a massive big building, and it looks like something out of Harry Potter. I don't know if you know much about that place, but it's Harry Potter. And we was told when you're pulling away from there, you got to be quiet late at night, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning when you come back from up north, past Watford, and you come back, and when you get back, you got to be quiet when you're driving out there. He had is it a TV? Something
TVR.
7? Something 7, is it? A TV?
That little 2-seater sports car.
And we used to struggle to get in the back. Fuck, when you start everything up, it shits the life out of you.
Yeah.
Well, you start it up, and everyone, like the manager and people like dodging that. What's that? And so he'd go, yeah. Next minute, he would wait for everyone to start opening out on their engines, and he'd fucking open his car up, and he could drive the kid. It would be perfect. And he'd start doing spins in his car, round and round and round, beer in the fucking motor. And as a beep in the motor, you see the lights coming on, and the manager's going, fuck you. Fucking brilliant. And I mean, he was an absolute nutter. He had, him and Guy Butters bought a car to drive, so they didn't put mileage on their car from Portsmouth to train in every day. And they used to call it a Sally Gunnel, an ugly runner. and this car was horrendous. So one day we're like driving back, and I got bored in the back with whoever it was Sean Wilkinson, Wingnut or whoever, and they're in the front. So I undone the window and I took his headrest off and fucked it off out the car. So Sean Wilkinson done the same with the passenger one. And then we started ripping the wheels off. He was going, fuck it. I'll tell you, I'll crash this fucking car, I'll kill us all. That'll be good.
Top man, thank you very much.
Cheers, guys.
Brilliant.
Cheers,
Thank
mate. We said we'd cover it all, didn't we?
Yeah, you fucking did.
I thought we missed Les Ferdinand's car accident.